At this time, I would like to acknowledge that we are on the ancestral lands of the Mi'kmaq people. I would like to thank the Mi'kmaq people of today for their ancestors so willingly sharing these lands with our ancestors, whether they came 4 years ago or 400 years ago. And we are all treaty people. Okay, and before we start into the agenda, I just want to, on behalf of our council, offer congratulations to all of the graduates that graduated over the last week or so. Big day in a lot of lives and a lot of family lives. I got to one graduation, and as usual, they're pretty hot and sticky by the time they're over. But so we wish all the graduates the very best, whether they're going on to further their education, whether they're going directly into the workforce, or taking a year off to think about what to do. We wish them all the best. Okay, now we'll move on to the approval of the agenda. Peter, seconded by Councillor Dave Parker. Are there any additions or deletions from the minutes? Or from the agenda, sorry. Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Now, are there any emergency resolutions? And we need 50% plus one in order to move along with those. I don't see any, so we'll move right along to our minutes from June the 3rd. Are there any errors, omissions, or corrections to our June 3rd minutes? Any errors, omissions, corrections to the June 3rd minutes? Final time, any errors, corrections, omissions to the June 3rd minutes? I will declare those approved as presented. Okay, and then we'll move along to our correspondence. We have several pieces of correspondence, one from the Municipality of Shelburne regarding federal funding from what used to be the gas tax, Canada Community Building Fund, to change the way that what qualifies for that fund. A letter from the Minister of Public Works regarding the RIM program and the clearing of the trees and whatnot that we wrote a letter to him on out at the Macbeth Road. A letter from the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing regarding changes to the fiscal year 24-25 that could impact our revenues or expenses. A letter from the Federal Minister of Justice regarding policing review in Nova Scotia. Letter from the Nova Scotia Minister of Natural Resources and Renewables regarding the spring bear hunt. And a thank you note from Pictou Academy for the graduation bursary. Are there any comments, questions on any of those pieces of correspondence? Okay, I don't see any, so we'll move right along. Business items not requiring action. You have a report there from the East River Business Park Business Development Report from done by Frank McFarlane. Are there any questions on that report? Quiet bunch tonight. We'll move right along. So the business items or items requiring action, Councillor McKeel, you're going to lead us through our budget for the evening. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warden. Resolution for tax rates 2024-25. Be it resolved by the Municipal Council that the estimated expenditures of the Municipality of the County of Pictou for the fiscal period April 1st, 2024 to March 31st, 2025 is approved in the amount of $23,357,052. And after making the allowance for estimated revenue in the amount of $5,216,781, the amount of $18,140,271 is required from general taxation of the assessed valuation of $1,989,736,350. Therefore, be it resolved that the tax rate for the fiscal period April 1st, 2024 to March 31st, 2025 be set at $0.815 per $100 of assessment for residential and resource property, and at $1.825 per 100 of assessment for commercial property. And be it further resolved that the rates and taxes for the current period be collected by warrant of distress without further notice, if not paid on or before the 15th day of October 2024, with all costs and expenses of levy and all proceedings incidental thereto. And further, if the said taxes are not paid before the 15th day of October 2024, an additional penalty charge will be payable in accordance with the municipality's interest rate policy. Dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 2nd day of July, 2024. Signed by myself, Councillor Darla McKeel, and seconded by Deputy Warden Wayne Murray.
So second.
Okay, you've heard the reading of the resolution to do with our 24-25 tax rate and the general operating budget. So are there any questions? That's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions on that resolution? Go ahead, Councillor Wadden.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I should have asked this last week. I apologize for that. The fire departments, the 5 fire departments that were helped in the last 3 years through our budget, is that included in that area rate for the fire departments? Are they being helped again this year?
I believe so, but I'll ask Mr. Cullen questions whether that help is continuing. I believe that's, yes, it is.
There's been no change. Okay, thank you.
They're still, at a low rate compared to everybody, or many of the others. They're at a low rate, and if we can help out the people at the low rate a little, that's a good thing. 4, used to be 5, wasn't it? 4 that qualify, because there's a level that once you get above that level, you don't qualify anymore.
Did the rates change any from last year? Those, I guess we'll talk about the area rates after.
Just assessment.
Based on assessment?
It's just assessment in one of the departments, put them up above the 90,000 threshold, so.
They're over the threshold.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I just meant for taking the money, like the way we took it from the fire departments last year. Has that changed, the equation there?
No, that hasn't changed. Because
so we're still taking the same amount of money, or possibly more, due to the assessment.
They still need help, so, that's help is still going to.
No, I understand that, but I'm just trying to get my head around the difference between what we had to pay them last year and what we're paying them this year. Like, there must be money left over there. Then is that separated somehow, or is it just
Money left over.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, instead of X number of dollars, like we need it last year, we need less this year, I'm assuming. Because we have one
Right, the
department
amount of
that-
subsidy or grant amount that we would be paying to them
Yes.
would be less than last year in most cases, because they would have assessment growth. So if, say, we give, I don't know, 80,000 last year in the grant to bring them all up to the 90, maybe this year it's 75 because of growth.
Yeah, but we didn't change the rates that we were taking from the fire department, is what I'm asking.
No.
They've said, okay, thank you.
And probably in truth, I'll add to that like everybody else's costs, we set 90,000 at the time. It had to be set somewhere, as this is the level. If you get above that, you don't get helped anymore. Probably because the cost for fire departments, as well as everything else, going up. You need that threshold is going to have to be set higher at some point, because otherwise, they're going to be poor even though they're being helped. Okay, any other questions on the tax rates or the budget for next year? Okay, I will call for the vote on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Thank you for that. So next we have the area rates for street lights, hydrant, and sewer. Deputy Warden Murray.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Be it resolved by the Municipal Council of the Municipality of County of Pictou, the council authorize the rate and collection of area rates for street lights, hydrant fire protection, and sewer maintenance fees acceptable properties assessed in all districts for the fiscal period 24-25. Sorry about my throat, but I'm getting a cold. Type of rate, street lights, the assessment rate. For Little Harbour, Pictou Landing is 0.052. For Abercrombie and Granton is 0.016, and for Abercrombie, did 0.017. And then the street lights for the flat rate is $49.35, and for District 1, it's a flat rate of $9.09. Hydrant fire protection residential is $280. hydrant fire protection for commercial is 0.440. Hydrant fire protection for institutional is 0.480, and sewer maintenance fee is $368. Be it further resolved that all rates and taxes as set out above shall be due and paid to the treasurer on or before the 15th day of October 24. If such rates and taxes are not paid by the 15th day of October 24, an additional charge will be applied in accordance with the municipal's interest rate policy. Dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 2nd day of July 2024. I so move this resolution, and seconded by Councillor Dave Parker.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution to do with our area rates for the next year. For streetlights, hydrant, and sewer. And that motion has been, or that resolution's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions on those area rates? Okay, not seeing any, we'll call for the vote on that one. All those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Oh, 1 nay. Okay, thank you. Nay for Councillor Boyles. Now we'll go on to the water utility rates. Councillor Elliott, you're looking after that one?
Be it resolved by the Municipality of the County of Pictou that Council approve the water utility budget for 2024-2025 fiscal period in the amount of $564,540, the same having been reviewed and approved by the Financial Services Committee of the Council dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia on the 2nd day of July of 2024, signed by myself, Councillor Elliott, and second by Councillor Wadden.
Okay, moved and seconded the resolution on water utility rate for the gross amount of $564,540. Any questions on the water utility? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Next, we have the fire area rates. Councillor Thompson.
Thank you. Resolution, be it resolved by the Municipal Council for the Municipality of the County of Pictou that Council authorize the rating and collection of the following fire rates on properties assessed in the fire coverage areas throughout the municipality for the fiscal period 2024-25. The rate per $100 assessment: Abercrombie 10 cents, Alma 9.8 cents, Barney's River 19.5 cents, Blue Mountain 19.5 cents, Caribou 8.6 cents, East River St. Mary's 19.5 cents, East River Valley 19.5 cents, Eureka 13.3 cents, Lynasee 16.2 cents, Little Harbor 10 cents, Miragamish 17.4 cents, Pictou Landing 19.5 cents, Plymouth 19 cents, River John 10 cents, Scottsburn 12.4, Thorburn 13.3, West River 12.4, and Trenton has a flat rate of $60.45, and the rate per acre is 1 cent for all districts. Be it further resolved that all rates and taxes as set out above shall be due and paid by the 15th day of October 2024. If such rates and taxes are not paid by the 15th day of October 2024, an additional charge will be payable in accordance with the municipality's interest rate policy, dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 2nd day of July 2024, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Randy Palmer.
So second.
Okay, you've heard the fire area rates moved and seconded for the upcoming year 24-25. Any questions on the fire area rates? Go ahead, Councillor Watt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's not a question, but a comment. I've disagreed with the way we took this money from the fire departments 3 years ago, and I continue to disagree with how we're doing it. And even more so tonight after hearing that one of the fire departments was dropped, because the good thing is that they're over the $90,000 threshold, but these rate per assessments that for the fire departments weren't re-looked at and changed according to the difference that we're paying off these have-not fire departments. So I think that's wrong that we didn't do that. So, and furthermore, I thought we were going to try and do something else after the 3 years. I thought we were going to try to have something else, another plan, or look at other ways. Maybe we could help these departments, but I don't think we've done that in the last 3 years either. So I'm just very disappointed that we're continuing to do this with the fire departments, so I won't be supporting this area rate.
And I think it's something we need to look at as we go forward, and it may be as basic as changing that threshold from 90 to 95 or 100 for those departments that need help. And then any excess would be going to those departments.
I do agree with you there, but I just think that since we didn't do that this year, and we're still taking the same amount of money from the fire departments, I think that's unfortunate. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments or questions on the fire area rates? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Against? Motion carried. One nay. One nay, Councillor Wadden. Now we'll move on to the New Scotland Business Park area rate, which is Councillor Wadden.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Resolution, whereas New Scotland Business Incorporated, the Municipality of the County of Pictou, and the Town of New Glasgow have agreed that the tax rates for the East River Business Park should not exceed $1.89 per $100 of assessment as a residential rate and $2.90 per $100 of assessment as a commercial rate, and whereas the Municipality of the County of Pictou has set the 2024-25 tax rates at 81.5 cents per $100 of assessment as a residential rate and $1.82.5 per $100 of assessment as a commercial rate. Therefore, be it resolved by the Municipal Council for the Municipality of the County of Pictou that Council authorize the rating and collection of an area rate for the East River Business Park for the fiscal year period 2024-25 as follows. Residential rate would be $1.07.5 per $100 of assessment, and commercial rate would be $1.07.5 per $100 of assessment. Be it further resolved that all rates and taxes as set out above shall be due and paid to the Treasurer on or before the 15th day of October 2024. If such rates and taxes are not paid by the 15th day of October 2024, an additional charge will be payable in accordance with the municipality's interest rate policy. Dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 2nd day of July 2024. Signed by myself, Councillor Deborah Wadden, and seconded by Councillor Larry Turner.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded for the area rate for the New Scotland Business Park for the 24-25 year. Any questions on that? Go ahead, Councillor Wadden.
I just noticed like the residential and the commercial rates both the same. If we keep them the same?
I think that the assessment, the increase went up the same, but they're different because it says at the top is $2.90 for business and $1.89 for, that's the amount that is needed to bring them up, but they're not the same.
Well, we're setting the rates so at $1, and they're both the same rates. Is that? No, wait, I know, I've seen that. Right. I just read they're both the same rates. I just thought that was odd.
I think it's just the amount of increase to get them to that $1.89 and
Okay.
the $2.90 from our rates is that $7.5. That puts them up to those rates.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, we didn't have the vote on that one, I don't believe. All those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Okay, and now we'll go on to the council grants. Councillor Dave Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Whereas numerous applications for funding were received and considered by the municipality during the preparation of the 2024-25 general operating budget, therefore be it resolved, the municipality of the County of Pictou approve the payment of the following grants, and I beg your indulgence. Under community grants, Karma Pictou County for operations, $3,000. Chad Transit for operations, $63,000. Citizens for Health of Pictou County for operations, $24,200. Community Assisting Refugees for operations, $2,500. Deans for operations, $19,000. Moore Lodge for chairlift, $3,500. The Glasgow Farmers Market for maintenance, $4,921. Northern Respite Services, better known as HCRS, for operations, $1,500. Pictou Agricultural Society for site maintenance, $10,000. Pictou Agricultural Society for construction of a new barn, year 2 of 2 payments, $45,000. Pictou County Christmas Fund, annual donation, $1,000. Pictou County Cruise Committee for operations, $3,000. Pictou County Mental Illness Family Support Association for operations, $3,000. Pictou County Pride for operations, $1,000. Pictou County Seniors Outreach for operations, $5,000. Pictou County Volunteer Ground Search and Rescue for operations, $10,000. Pictou County United Church for Ryan's Case for Smiles, $1,000. Read by the Sea for operations, $3,000. School Backpack Program for operating expenses, $9,500, and School Breakfast Program, also for operating expenses, $9,500, giving a total in that category of $222,621. Under Community Development Grants, District 1 Development Society for Community Coordinator, $5,000. District 13 Recreation and Planning Commission for Community Coordinator, $4,100. East River Valley Community Development Association for a Community Coordinator, $5,000, giving a total in that category of $14,100. Recreational/culture grants. Antigonish Highland Society for Gaelic song preservation, $1,000. Autism Pictou County for a swim program, $5,000. Camp Getty for water filtration system, $15,000. Creative Pictou County for operations, $2,500. Cost Performing Arts Center for operations, $15,000. District 13 Recreation Planning Commission for operations, $25,000. District 13 Recreation Planning Commission for truck purchase, $20,000. East Pictou Rural Fair for operations, $2,500. Hector Arena for operations, $25,000. New Caledonia Curling Club for maintenance and repairs, $10,000. North Nova Education Center bursary and graduation expenses, $2,000. Northumberland Regional High School bursary and graduation expenses, $2,000. Pictou Academy graduation expenses, $200. Tattamagush Regional High School graduation expenses, $200. Pictou County 4-H leaders for maintenance and repairs to the 4-H building, $7,500. Pictou Arts Society for operations, $2,000. Pictou and Area Garden Club, brackets Westville and Lismore, for operations, $1,500. Pictou County Forest School for building construction, $7,500. Pictou County Historical Society for programming support, $500. Pictou Trails Association East Side for trail improvements, $15,000. Pictou Lobster Carnival for operations, $5,000. Riverview Home Corporation for their swim program, $5,000. Scouts Canada for operations, $1,000. Ship Hector Society for promotions, $10,000. The Jubilee for their operations, $5,000, giving a total in that category of $185,400. And finally, the last category, Community Connectivity Fund. To the Tony River Community Hall for building improvements, $35,000. To Marcia, which is Merrickamish, building improvements, $49,756. To NRHS, the high school in Alma, for a greenhouse, $10,000. And for the Gut Bridge, for repair and reconstruction of that bridge, which burned a few years ago, $35,000. Giving a total for the Community Connectivity Fund of $129,756, leaving an unclaimed amount, or maybe unawarded amount might be a better term, of $20,243. So total there has been granted is $150,000. Grand total for all grants, $572,121. Dated Pictou NS list on the 2nd day of July, 2024, moved by myself, Councilor David Parker, seconded by Councilor Mary Elliott.
So seconded.
Okay, thank you. And before I open it up for discussion on this this motion or resolution, I just want to say that my brother just read off a lot of names there and a lot of amounts, and there's a lot of help there for a lot of community organizations across this rural part of our county that would have great difficulty carrying on and operating without these grants. And that is the truth. You know, for many of them, it just wouldn't happen. And so I think there's a good expenditure of taxpayers' money to keep our communities alive and well, and keep our buildings repaired for people to be able to use. So it's sometimes contentious. As we've often said, it's probably the most difficult meeting of the year to try and, you know, divvy out whatever funds we have. They're not endless, so there was a fair number of groups that didn't get anything. And so we feel for them too, and maybe next year it'll be different, but it's impossible to stretch the dollars to suit all the asks. The asks are often double what the amount of money available is. So while we're helping many, there will be some unhappy that aren't helped, but like I say, hopefully next year might be able to help some of those ones. I'll now open it up. It's been moved and seconded for questions. Go ahead, Councillor Dewar.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. The community grants, I was pleased, very pleased that the meeting and the council decided to help out the Pictou County Ground Search and Rescue. I think that's a extremely, extremely important part of Pictou County. And the night of our meeting was the night that that lady was missing, and there was hundreds of people out between here and I guess the Trenton Connector Road on the road number 6 coming down here that night looking for that lady. And it just shows they come from all over the province to help as well, and our people go all over the province to help them when they're in trouble. So I think that, I know everything else is all important here, but that seemed desperate important that night that we were able to help them. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Boyles.
Yeah, again, there's a lot of good things in there, and there's a lot of good, you know, community things in the county and that are being supported. That I think it's great. It's terrific. I just can't get my head around why we're giving money to other towns and that. I don't think it's right to give our county tax dollars out to other places when we got people right here in the county that needs it. So for that, I'd be voting against it.
Okay, understand your point of view. Are there any other opinions or concerns about our council grants? Okay, seeing none, we'll call for the vote on that. Oh wait, now did I miss somebody? Oh.
Look, you're right.
I did look right. I didn't see anybody. Just a bald head.
It's on.
Go right ahead.
I just want to say,
that
I guess we all could find one or two in here that we think are maybe not as worthy as some of the others, and we probably find some in there that we feel are more worthy, probably should receive more than what we granted them. Those differences of opinions will always occur, and as you said, it's the hardest meeting we have. We have to try to whittle down asks for 2 or 2.5 times more than the funds we have. And, you know, many of these groups are very, very deserving. So we try to be equitable, but we're always going to have difference of opinions. That Group A got X amount and Group C only got Y amount. But at the end of the day, this is one of the main tools that we have to help those groups that are volunteers in our community. And I want to echo what Councillor Dewar said. We get a real bargain with the Ground Search and Rescue compared to supporting a fire department. It's a real bargain, okay? And they do, when called upon, they go the extra mile to try to help out. So that's one in particular that, like I say, we're getting real good value for money. There's others there, and we can always question, but at the end of the day, we have to make some decisions. And this is what we come up with. Thank you.
Okay, and just before I call for the vote, I should say too that there is a hard deadline for this program to get a council grant, and that is February the 28th each year, and that doesn't change. And if you're out by 1 day or 100 days, it's the same. You're not eligible if it's not in, to be fair to everybody, unless it's in by February 28th. So some did miss by a day, some missed by 2 months. But all we can say is that another year, don't need to wait to February 28th, get it in January or whatever, so it's there plenty ahead of time, because it is disappointing to the groups and disappointing to us when we can't support them because they're over that line. Okay, I'm going to call for the vote then, if there's no more questions. All those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Okay, now we'll move on to Councillor Dewar with the sheep valuer appointments.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Resolution, whereas Section 9(1) of the Sheep Protection Act provides for the annual appointments of sheep valuers, whereas appointments to this office have been made throughout the various districts of the County of Pictou, whereas in accordance with the aforementioned status of Nova Scotia, these appointments require the approval of council. Therefore, be it resolved by the Municipal Council of Pictou that council approve the appointments of the following sheep valuers for 2024-25. District 2, Alan Keith. District 3, William Ferguson. District 12, Willard McDonald. Dated at Pictou, NS, the 2nd day of July 2024. Signed by myself, Councillor Chester Dewar, and seconded by Councillor Andy Thompson.
So seconded?
Okay, you've heard the reading of the motion on the sheep valuers, and I believe it was said here before that if a sheep valuer is needed in another district, then we can pull them from, we don't need one in every district. In other words, be interesting to know how many sheep we have in Pictou County. I do see a few herds around, I don't know if it's called a herd or not. Flock, that's a better word. I knew it didn't sound right when I said it, but there are still some around, but I know some people very well who've gotten out of the sheep business in the last couple of years. It's just a tough go, as is much of agriculture. So we'll call for the vote. If there's no questions on the sheep valuers, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Okay, now we'll move to the municipal service grants for districts 2, 5, 6, and 9. Councillor Boyles.
Thank you, Warden. Be it resolved, the municipality of the County of Pictou approved the following municipal service grants. District 2, LH Walking and Bicycling Trail Society, $2,000 for a campsite picnic table at Roy's Island, total $2,000. District 5, Lions Brook Hall, $7,500 assessed for installation of lift in hall. Also District 5, Infield Hall street lights, $40 yearly cost, and District 5, Meadowville Hall street lights, $40 yearly cost, for a total of $7,580. District 6, Lochbrum Log Church Committee, $5,000, the maintenance of church and property. Salem and Area Recreation, $25,000, constant multi-use pad, multi-use pad. West River Presbyterian Church, $5,635, exterior work on hall for a total of $35,635. District 9, Hillside Community Society, $14,000, upgrades to basement, total $14,000. Dated Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 2nd day of July 2024, signed by myself, Councillor Peter Boyles, and second by Councillor Don Butler.
Okay, you've heard the readings of the municipal service grants for districts 2, 5, 6, and 9. Been moved and seconded. Any questions, concerns on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. This is part of municipal service grants. It's District 4, Councillor Elliott.
Be it resolved that the municipality of the County of Pictou approve the following municipal service grants in District 4, Bellevue and Extension Cemetery Association, $3,500, maintenance, River John Community Action Society, $2,737, lighting, security, maintenance, Rogers Landing, and Abyssal Park. Campbell Point Cemetery, $2,000, maintenance. Riverbank Cemetery, $2,000, survey and maintenance. Mountain Road Cemetery, $1,000, maintenance. River John Legion Branch 108, $900, maintenance. Salem United Church Cemetery, $3,000, maintenance. River John and District Lions Club, $3,800, playground repairs. River John and Area Historical Club, $5,750, upgrades to the building. River John and Area Recreation Association, $4,300, purchase a lawnmower tractor. West Branch Hall Streetlight, $40 yearly cost. Salem United Church Streetlight, $40 yearly cost, for a total of $29,067, dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia on the second day of July of 2024. So moved by myself, Councillor Elliott, and second by Councillor Wadden.
Okay, you heard the reading of the grants, municipal service grants for District 4. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. And now we'll move right along, District 11, Councillor Palmer.
Thank you, Warden. Resolution, be it resolved by the Municipality of the County of Pictou approve the following municipal service grants. District 11, East River St. Mary's Fire Department, $1,500 for equipment and operating. Blue Mountain Fire Department, $1,500 for equipment and operations. Garden of Eden Community Hall, $2,000 for operating expenses. Garden of Eden Cemetery, $400 for maintenance. Moose River Cemetery, $400 for maintenance. Greensbrook Cemetery, $400 for maintenance. Bridgeville Community Hall, $2,000 operations. Bridgeville Cemetery, $400 for maintenance. East River Valley Recreation Association, $2,000 for operations. East River Valley Community Development Association, $1,500 for a newsletter. Glencoe Community Hall, $5,000 for demolition and reclamation of hall property. Plymouth Community and Recreation Association, $3,750 for paving of reserve parking area. Plymouth Fire Department, $1,500 for equipment and operations. Plymouth Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary, $950 for equipment purchases. Churchville Hall, $2,000 for operating expenses. Churchville Cemetery, $400 for maintenance. Springville Cemetery, $400 for maintenance. Sunny Bray Cemetery, $400 for maintenance. SBI 4-H, $500 for 4-H program expenses, for a total of $27,000. Dated Pictou, Nova Scotia on the second day of July 2024. Moved by myself, Councillor Randy Palmer, and seconded by Councillor Andy Thompson.
Okay, so moved and seconded, the municipal service grants for District 11. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Now we'll move on to the Provincial Capital Assistance Program. That's yours, Councillor Turner.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. Mr. Warden. Resolution, whereas the Provincial Capital Assistance Program may fund up to 50% of eligible project cost and is intended to support categories such as capital construction for water, wastewater, and stormwater infrastructure. Whereas it could also include engineering design and technical studies related to these categories. Whereas staff of Pictou County Shared Services is recommending the Municipality of the County of Pictou support funding applications for 2 projects this fiscal year. They include A, emergency standby backup power detail design for tender-ready drawings, wastewater treatment plant costing $46,000, and B, emergency power concept development study, wastewater collection 17 pumping stations for $19,500. Be it resolved that the Municipality of the County of Pictou make the emergency standby backup power detail design for tender-ready drawings for the wastewater treatment plant its first priority for funding applications through the Provincial Capital Assistance Program for 2024. Be it further resolved that the Municipality of the County of Pictou make the emergency power concept development study, wastewater collection, System 17 pumping stations, its second priority for funding applications through the Provincial Capital Assistance Program for 2024, dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, on the second day of July 2024, signed by myself, Councillor Larry Turner, and seconded by Councillor Debbie Wood.
Okay, so you've heard the reading of the resolution to do with Provincial Capital Assistance Program and our shared services, looking for us to put forward 2 projects that they're working on as our priorities for this year under that program. And I know well from sitting around the table at Shared Services that there is a big concern on that issue of having backup power if the power goes off for any length of time, and being able to keep some of these lift stations going. So are there any, it's been moved and seconded, that resolution. Are there any questions or concerns on the resolution? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. And now we'll move on to Recreation Nova Scotia Conference sponsorship. Councillor Palmer.
Thank you, Warden. Resolution. Recreation Nova Scotia is hosting its annual conference at St. Francis Xavier University in Antigonish from October 16th to the 18th of 2024. Whereas the Municipality of Pictou County's Recreation Department staff will be co-hosting this important conference in collaboration with other recreation members from the Highland region. Be it resolved that the Municipality of County Pictou approve $3,000 for the platinum level sponsorship for the Recreation Nova Scotia Conference, dated Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 2nd day of July 2024, moved by myself, Councillor Randy Palmer, and second by Councillor Debbie Wadden.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded then that we send the funding for the Recreation Nova Scotia Conference be made available from this municipality. Any questions on that one? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Okay, now we'll move to the Lismore and District Community Center Youth Leadership Program funding. And Councillor Butler, you're looking after that one.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Resolution. Whereas the Lismore District Community Center's Youth Leadership Program is for youth aged 7 to 15 years, and which develops the creative talents of the area's next community leaders. Whereas youth have been developing their skills in visual arts, filmmaking, drama, and cooking, and building their confidence by volunteering at community events. Therefore, be it resolved that the municipality of the County of Pictou approve $2,500 in sponsorship of Lismore District Community Center Youth Leadership Program, dated at Pictou the 2nd day of July. I so move, and seconded by Councillor Boyles.
So moved.
Okay, moved and seconded for the $2,500 to help out with the Lismore District Community Center Youth Leadership Program. Any questions on that one? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Now we're coming to the capital planning one. Are you looking after that, Brian? Okay, I'll let our CAO take over at this point.
The results, I guess, of the survey that I have as of now, majority, I believe, have completed the survey. 8 of the projects received support, majority support, if not large majorities. The municipal building expansion, that project should be deferred, was the majority view. Churchville water extension, that should be deferred, was the majority view. Riverton water extension, majority view is that should be established as a priority. Hardwood Hill sewer extension, majority that should be deferred. The Hillside lift station improvements, majority that should be considered. The various lift station improvements around the various communities, repairing the second pumps, adding redundancy, things like that. Majority have that, should be priority. The Hopewell Eureka blower system, that should be a priority. The Thorburn wastewater treatment improvements, that's a priority. The Hillside Chlorination Station replacement, that was the only one that actually had a unanimous vote. This should be done. Oh, no, sorry, and the next one. The mobile generator and electrical upgrades. The majority, or unanimous on that. And the E1 pump cores, majority said that should be done. The sidewalks in Westville, Little Harbor, Valley View Village, Truro Road, River John, all were majority to be deferred for future consideration, and the same for Holland Lane and Jean Street.
Okay, so that's the monkey poll that was done by our CAO to determine where people were on these projects that we reviewed earlier. Are there any questions or concerns on the polling? Go ahead, Councillor Thompson.
Blue Acre sidewalks. I never heard that one.
There in that other.
So they're already on the plan from last year. So there were five projects from last year. That
there'll be some that'll be added there now. So we'll have a future meeting then to deal with the ones that are already on there plus these ones here.
So at this point, we take these and we build, in essence, your financing plan on how we do these type things. So,
go ahead, Mary.
I just wanted to know how many didn't complete the survey. And are they still going to be allowed?
Some questions I had 12, and then others I only had 11. So, like.
So we're pretty close to majority. Well, we're more than majority.
They could have skipped a question.
So 12 replied, only they weren't complete surveys.
Yeah.
Are you all right then, Councillor Elliott? Councillor Wadden?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And again, I have to voice disappointment with Little Harbor again for the sidewalk, and I understand the reasoning behind it. The other projects are big infrastructure projects that do need to be taken care of, but I still say that some of these sidewalk issues are smaller projects. We have to have a way of dealing with them because they're always going to be overpowered by the larger projects that we have done. So I think it's really unfortunate that we still haven't really come up with a plan that would help smaller projects in our community and move forward on them. Thank you.
I guess I'd like to make a comment to do with that Little Harbor sidewalk because we know the safety issue, which Department of Transportation I think has to be part of the solution. But as I drove into Westville yesterday, I saw a big sign up saying new stop sign. And so where the seniors' home is up the hill coming in Cowan Street, they have put in a three-way stop. And now they have a crosswalk because there's a three-way stop there. You can't safely ask seniors, especially, or anybody, to cross a busy highway without having some way to slow the traffic down or stop it. I think that's one of the biggest issues with that one. I see in the town of Westville now, they operate under different rules probably than we do because they make their own rules for the town. So that's, I think, the first step to moving toward a sidewalk there.
And like I advise council here, we have put that forward to the Department of Transportation. Yeah. Hopefully we'll hear positive results on that. But it still won't solve the issue of the smaller projects being overshadowed by the larger projects. I don't know whether we need to set some money aside for smaller projects in the communities that should be done or how we handle it. But I don't think we're approaching the smaller projects properly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And are there any other concerns or questions to do with that issue of our monkey poll, which will come to us later for the funding part of it? Okay, I don't see any hands, so that's looks after that one. With your permission, because I probably should have added this under emergency thing at the first or whatever, I did receive a letter today from the person that looks after the dollars at Divert, Nova Scotia, and I would like to read it to you to know, so that you know about this funding, that a lot of people see Divert as only running the, the depots and the tires project, but so I will read it to you if there's no objections. Good afternoon, Robert. Tomorrow, Divert Nova Scotia will be paying the 75% advance for the 2024 diversion credits and MAP allocation. See attached in our letter, a letter regarding diversion credits. Of note this year is the payments have been adjusted for corrections to the 2023 payments due to the data call adjustments to regions after the March payments. Therefore, an additional amount has been added to your current year advance. Diversion credit payment of $401,348 is the result of current year advance of $358,000 plus the 2023 adjustment of $43,348. And Brian will have to tell you about this one. The MAP allocation, I'm not sure what that is. Payment of $62,888 is the result of current year advance of $56,900 plus the 2023 adjustment of another $5,988. So there's considerable money there that goes to shared services, goes to our landfill part of shared services to help with everything from education, modernization, whatever they need the dollars for pretty well. But that comes from what they call diversion credits from Divert Nova Scotia. And if they have a positive balance at the end of the year of more than a certain amount, then they have to send that to the landfills across the province to help pay for these programs. So when these bottles are collected and taken in and whatnot, and it happens every day in our county, some of that finds its way back to our landfills. And if it wasn't for that, then we would be paying more and our tax rate would have to go up. So I was just interested to know that Divert Nova Scotia does contribute a fair number of dollars to our landfills, and especially for things like education in our schools and encouraging recycling and that type of stuff. They do a lot of work at the landfills other than just taking what people bring in or whatever. So just wanted you to be aware of that next time you hear about Divert, that there is considerable dollars that save our taxpayers money. Okay, we're down to consideration of deferred business. Any consideration of deferred business? Don't see any. Community announcements. So we're into the heart of summer. Does anybody have anything to announce in their communities, or is everybody taking the summer off? Councillor Murray.
I'll start.
Or Deputy Warden Murray.
The Scotsman Annual Pork Chop Barbecue is being held on the 31st of July, and you can pre-buy your tickets, but there is going to be some tables set out this year so you can come and have your meal instead of picking it up and going home. So it's either or. So July 31st, Wednesday. Thank you.
I think that's a great idea to have some tables. A lot of people want to go to these things to meet their neighbors and stuff they don't see the rest of the year. And ever since COVID, it was pick it up and take it home and eat it by yourself or with whoever's in your house. So it's great news to hear that some of these things are coming back to social occasions. Any others? I have one at the SARA, the Salem and Area Recreation Association, the old Salem ball field. On the 21st of this month, which isn't too far off now, 3 weeks, there'll be a music, what called a music day and entertainment. They have some fiddlers and they have some a band playing, and it's just a chance for the public to get out and enjoy the park and see what work is being done. So certainly any of the councillors here, if they're interested in just seeing what's being done there, they have made some great advances, and what we approved tonight will allow them to put in a new pad, which is going to be for basketball and all kinds of other net sports and stuff. So making good headway there, and an excellent committee. So they're putting this on for the people of the community, and if you've got a chance, that's on the 21st of this month. I believe it's a Saturday. So I want to welcome anybody to that. If there's no further community announcements. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mary. Must be blind in that corner.
Seafoam Hall is having a down memory lane, and they're wanting people to join them. It's Memories and Music. It's on Friday, July 5th at 7 o'clock, and it features the Strange Valentines as performers, but it's featuring a video of the history of the hall, and there's also a story time told, and they're welcoming all former students, new community members, and everyone from the surrounding area. Tickets are sold in advance for $12 or $15 at the door. Complimentary light refreshments with a cash bar, with all proceeds going to the hall, and the number to contact is 902-890-0240.
Okay, thank you, Mary. That was July 5th at 7. And which hall was that at, Tony? Seafoam. Okay, any other community announcements? Go ahead, Chester.
I just want to say something about Seafoam. When I was a kid going to school, where John Walt Disney put in the Seafoam Hall.
They have that up on the wall.
Okay.
He stopped there passing through there, right?
That was a big deal in
I
1967.
bet.
I didn't know that.
There's no charge for that.
Oh, Chester, you just told your age.
Yeah. Okay, is there any other community announcements? Okay, if not, I will declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you. Safe drive home.